Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Today, Elliot here. Welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So today's topic of discussion around fragrances is going to be fragrances for a night out, particularly a grown man's night out, and not including a date night. So any activity that a grown man might do for an evening out, these are some fragrance suggestions I think work for that scenario. Sorry to the younger guys, but I've seen my analytics. It is overwhelmingly grown men, or at least grown men age, watching my channel. So I've got 8 fragrances here that I think can be great options for an evening out. I'll list some activities that I might wear them for. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so the first one on the list is going to be from the house of Xerjoff. This is 40 Knots. Xerjoff's 40 Knots. So this fragrance is definitely an aquatic fragrance, but it's done in a very different way. It has some spiciness to it, some tasteful sweetness, does have aquatic-like accords, but like, again, it's very different from what you would think of the traditional aquatic. Has a very strong amberiness to it. Has kind of an airiness to it. There is an official listed accord called Sea Breeze. I do kind of get that sensation when I smell this fragrance. I have not given this a full wear yet because I specifically have an activity in mind that I want to wear it for coming up. That activity happens to be deep sea fishing. Now, that's not necessarily a night out activity, particularly that's, usually done kind of earlier in the day. That being said, I do think this fragrance is great for like a beach party, a beach bar, or somewhere around some water, a yacht party, a boat party. I think this is a great option for that kind of activity, especially if there's some, kind of like sea breezes in the air, or air that's coming off of a body of water, say a lake party too. I think this is a great fragrance for that. So once again, from the house of Xerjoff, this is 40 Knots. All right, so the next one on the list is coming from the house of Roja Parfums. This is Danger Parfum pour Homme. Danger Parfum pour Homme. So this fragrance here is definitely spicy first, very spicy. Has an aromatic cleanliness to it, but it's not really sweet, and it's a spicy cleanliness, kind of a soapy soapiness to it, if you will, and definitely very, very woody. The main fragrance note I can definitely pick up on this fragrance is the lavender, and again, it's used in a very spicy, aromatic way. Very classy fragrance, definitely very refined, definitely juice made for a grown man. So what would I use this for? This one kind of fits the bill for everything. It can work in a variety of situations, but what would I primarily use it for? Going to a lounge, cigar lounge can work, a bar, nice bar lounge can work, a restaurant with a nice lounge area. That's what I would use this fragrance for. To me, this fragrance is very bold and powerful, so it certainly doesn't take a ton of sprays to get the job done. So once again, from the house of Roja Parfums, this is Danger Parfum. All right, so this next one is going to be coming from the house of Amouage. This is Journeyman. Amouage Journeyman. Talked about this one quite a bit on this channel. It is one of my favorites. So lots of spice, kind of a combination between fresh and warm spice. Has a greenness to it, a bit of a woodiness. Obviously has tobacco. This is a tobacco and spicy fragrance. Kind of a leafy, kind of pipe-like tobacco, not really overly sweet, but there is kind of a subtle sweetness to this fragrance, but you definitely don't think of it like a Naxos, where it's definitely sweet, kind of like a honeyed, candied pipe tobacco. This is more of a leafy tobacco. It's not overly smoky either, but there's hints of it in there. Where would I wear this fragrance? To a cigar lounge for sure. Cigar lounge or a very nice bar. I think this fragrance works great for that occasion. Once again, from the house of Amouage, this is Journeyman. Okay, so the next one's coming from the house of Frapin. This is 1270. Frapin 1270. There is an extreme version of this fragrance. I haven't smelled it yet, but I have seen it for a good price from time to time. I might just blind buy it. I don't recommend doing blind buying, but every now and then you just take a leap of faith, or at least I do. This fragrance here, candied fruits, is the first thing you're definitely gonna notice. It's very much in that vibe of candied fruits with kind of a booziness in the background. Although there is no official listed booze accord in this fragrance, this still reminds me of booziness. Yeah, lots of candied fruits, Very balanced kind of sweetness. It's kind of gourmand. There's kind of a nuttiness in this, but it's not that forward to me. It's definitely more about the dried fruits with this fragrance. So where would I wear this? To a mixology bar. Definitely any kind of bar I think can work. This could be a choice for like a cigar lounge, something like that. Nice restaurant where there's like music being played or something like that. Maybe a jazz lounge. I'd wear this fragrance or something like that. This fragrance is also not a great performer. That's usually the case with a lot of the fragrances from this house, but since it's in the evening and you're only going to be spending maybe a few hours out anyway, it shouldn't really matter that much. So once again, from the house of Frapin, $12.70. All right, next up, coming from the house of Maison Margiela, this is Jazz Club. Maison Margiela's Jazz Club. So this fragrance, let me go ahead and spray it on a strip. This fragrance has some sweetness to it, some booziness, a little bit of a smokiness. There's kind of a leathery touch to it. There is tobacco listed as an accord in this fragrance. It's kind of like smoky tobacco in a building. Where would I wear this fragrance? To a jazz club. Exactly what it is describing, if you will. Also, I think would be great for kind of a bar as well, an upscale bar. Has that kind of a vibe. A nice restaurant lounge, this fragrance will work well for that as well. Once again, from the house of Maison Margiela, this is Jazz Club. Okay guys, so the next one's coming from the house of Nishane. I tried to leave this one off the list because I featured it already a good amount on the channel, but I just couldn't bring myself to leave it off based on this topic. This is Fan Your Flames. Nishane's Fan Your Flames. I mean, to me, if you're gonna go to a cigar lounge or anything of that nature, especially if you're in a tropical environment, this fragrance, to my mind, captures the very essence of that type of environment. You got coconut, you got rum, it's kind of a candied rum. It's got smokiness to it, it's got the tobacco, it's got a great amount of greenness and woodiness to it. There's a lot of cedar and moss in this fragrance. I think this fragrance is a knockout. It's one of the favorites in my collection. Perfect for that night out going to a cigar lounge or an upscale cigar lounge bar, whiskey bar, anything of that nature. I'd certainly use it for other uses as well, but I think it's great for those too. So once again, this is Nishane's Fan Your Flames. All right, and so this next one, another one I tried to leave off, but this one just kind of works with everything. I couldn't do it. From Marc-Antoine Barras, it's Ganymede. Marc-Antoine Barras Ganymede. Mineral accords, spicy accords, leathery accords, kind of an orangey citrus kind of vibe to it, a candied orange more so. I love this fragrance and I think it just works for everything. Lakeside party, boat party, whiskey lounge, cigar lounge, nice restaurant, just hanging out with the guys. This fragrance is a do-it-all fragrance in my opinion. Once again, from the house of Marc-Antoine Barras, it's Ganymede. All right, and last but not least, coming from the house of Cartier, this is Pasha de Cartier, the Parfum. Pasha de Cartier Parfum. This is another one I think just works for everything. It's a classy, gentlemanly, modern take on a traditionally masculine fougere type fragrance. It's boozy. It's quite balsamic, very balsamic, kind of in a green way, but not tree sap like. When you have like a tree sap type of accord and it's giving off that balsamic feature, it can have kind of this barkiness to it in my opinion. I have another fragrance that I think does that very well. This is more of a sweet, kind of green balsamic fragrance, has a lot of creaminess to it, very ambery, and also quite boozy as well. Again, lending itself to be used for just about any occasion in my opinion. Great for the cigar lounge, great for a whiskey lounge, mixology lounge, a nice dinner out, just hanging out, outdoor activities, whatever you name it, as long as it's not too hot. Wonderful fragrance from the house of Cartier. Once again, this is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Okay guys, that's it. That was 8 fragrances I think are great for a grown man's night out activities. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you would like the content. Hey guys, by the way, if it hasn't already happened, we are almost to 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine. Remember to hit that bell icon so you can be notified of new videos. Be well and smell well. And I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.